Who am I now? It's a question that can echo through your mind after a sudden loss of income. Maybe you've been laid off, your business closed, or an accident forced you to step away from work. In that moment, it's not just about the money. It's about losing the structure that shaped your days, the conversations that filled your time, and even the identity you carried for years. But what if this loss, as painful as it is, could also be the beginning of something new? What if instead of just surviving, you could actually grow? Let's talk about a fascinating concept from psychology: post-traumatic growth, or PTG. Unlike resilience, which is about bouncing back to where you were, PTG is about transformation. It's about emerging from a crisis as a different and often more fulfilled person. Take Anna's story. After 15 years at the same company, she lost her job overnight. The first months were devastating. She felt lost, unmoored, and unsure of who she was without her work. But 3 years later, when someone asked if she'd go back, her answer was a firm no. That loss, she said, saved her from a life that wasn't truly hers. Anna's experience isn't unique. Research shows that between 30 and 70% of people who go through traumatic events report at least some positive changes. These changes often show up in 5 key areas: deeper relationships, discovering new possibilities, a renewed sense of personal strength, a greater appreciation for everyday life, and sometimes a shift in spiritual or philosophical outlook. But why does losing income hit so hard? In modern life, work is more than just a paycheck. It's the backbone of our identity and the main way we structure our time and purpose. So when a job disappears, the question isn't just, how will I pay the bills? It's, who am I now? This disruption, as painful as it is, can actually open up space for change. Miguel, a 38-year-old engineer, faced this after an accident left him unable to do physical labor. At first, he panicked, convinced his life was over. But when he finally accepted that he couldn't go back, he started to explore new paths. He discovered a passion for teaching. Today, he earns less, but he wakes up excited to go to work, something he never felt before. Losing a job can break the automatic routines that keep us stuck. Working long hours because that's what people do, or spending money just to keep up. When those routines are interrupted, it can feel terrifying, but it can also be liberating. Teresa, a top manager who lost her position at age 50, described it as shedding a skin. For years, she was her job title. When that disappeared, she had to figure out who she was without the title, the company car, or the endless meetings. It was scary, but also the most honest thing she'd ever done. This process of redefining your identity is at the heart of post-traumatic growth. The involuntary time that comes with income loss can give you space to process emotions, invest in your health, and reconnect with relationships. Once your basic needs are met, these are the things that contribute most to happiness, not just a bigger paycheck. But let's be clear, not everyone experiences growth after trauma. It's not a magical superpower. For PTG to happen, the crisis has to be big enough to shake up your patterns, but not so overwhelming that it crushes your ability to survive. You also need a few key supports: a minimum level of financial security, a network of friends or family who validate your pain, and the flexibility to see yourself as more than just your job or your income. So, how do you know if you're growing? One sign is what psychologists call paradoxical gratitude. Joana, who now runs a small business that barely covers her bills, describes it this way. Before, she earned well but lived in constant anxiety, always afraid she wasn't enough. Now, even though her situation is more precarious, she sleeps better. She knows why she's doing what she does. This reduction in chronic anxiety, even in the face of uncertainty, is a real marker of growth. It doesn't mean the pain disappears, but it does mean you're building something new from the ruins. If you're facing a sudden loss of income, know this: it's okay not to be okay. Suffering is the soil where growth can eventually take root. Science doesn't promise that the pain will vanish, but it does show that we're capable of rebuilding, and sometimes of becoming someone we never expected. Just like certain seeds only open after a fire, or trees sprout new branches after a harsh pruning, people have hidden strengths that only emerge when the old structure falls away. Sometimes you have to stop running in a direction that isn't yours to finally discover where you truly belong. Have you experienced a turning point after losing a job or income? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. For more insights and practical tips, check out the MyFriendlyBudget channel. You might enjoy watching the video, Essential Strategies During Periods of Income Change. This guide explores 30 strategies for coping with life adjustments after a change in income. MyFriendlyBudget.com. Start building a brighter future.